What is going on, guys? It's Tony, and in this one we had our Dodgers defeat the Atlanta Braves 7-4 in a first of 3-game series. Obviously, the rematch of the NLCS in 2021, in 2020, and the NLDS in 2018. So always good to just get a win over this kind of team. We know they're capable. I don't care if they're 5-7 right now. We know they're capable of doing really dangerous stuff when it matters most. So yes, to get a win like this really just makes Dodger fans feel good. It makes us feel good about our team even more. Because obviously we lost that series against the Rockies, right? We swept Minnesota, right? Short 2-game series. And then we took care of business against the Reds. So really none of those teams are named the Braves. So for us to come out here and play the way that we did and ultimately come out with the win, it was just great to see. And, one of the most important things that I noticed about this game is that, we're just being really smart. And, I'll explain a little bit in terms of what we did later down the line. But let's go ahead and start off by talking about the pitching, right? Kershaw comes in 5 innings. Through 5 innings, he was just pitching really, really well, right? He was striking out opponents, right? And he allowed a couple of home runs and left a couple of men on base at the end of the 5th inning, which allowed, him to ultimately give up 4 runs. But other than that, I thought he was a pretty solid outing from Kershaw. When you think about this Braves lineup, I mean, it is just so dangerous down the line. You have Albies, Olsen, Austin Riley, Ozuna, Duvall. I mean, it's just crazy amount of offensive firepower that they have on their team. So, to allow them to just have 4 runs, it's not that big of a deal. And considering our offense, obviously we scored 7, so hey, a win's a win, I'll take it. And, our bullpen played pretty solid. Craig Kimbrell came in, played solidly. So, pitching-wise, I was pretty content with how we did against this Atlanta Braves team because we've seen it before, right? This team is very capable of just putting up runs in an instant, right? So we don't know when it's going to be. That's why it's kind of similar to the Dodgers in a way when you think about their lineups, but hey, I'll take it. In terms of our bats, right, we just came out and, Freddie Freeman, obviously a lot of emotions running high for him and Kenley Jansen. Freddie Freeman, in his first at-bat, hit a home run, his first run of the year, and as a Dodger against his former team in the Atlanta Braves. He is here, we've seen Freddie Freeman for the past 7-8 games, right? 9 games. We knew what Freddie Freeman's about. And he's been playing solid baseball. He's been drawing walks. He's been getting good contact. He's been around 33%. So we know what he's about. He's a great defender, great batsman, great contact hitter, great opposite hitter. So, when you take those things into account, I think this home run kind of just, goes to show, kind of summarizes what Dodger fans, can expect in the future. Because this is a guy, it doesn't matter how good someone is. When they come into a new team, there's always going to be that transition. There's always going to be that adjustment phase. And Freddie Freeman is slowly getting past it. And this game just kind of screams to me that he has arrived in LA. For him to do it against his former team, that just... it's just amazing. You can't make that up. So, after Freddie Freeman hit the home run, once again, we went off in the 4th inning. Last game, against the Reds, we did 7 runs in the 4th. This time it was 5 runs, right? Just kind of going over some players. Mookie Betts, he's been drawing some walks, although he hasn't necessarily hit for the best contact recently. He's been drawing walks, and that's probably one of the most important things that I've been noticing recently about the Dodgers is that they've been drawing plenty of walks, right? We drew 7 walks, and the Braves drew 0, right? Even though the Braves had 10 hits, they had those hits probably when the inning was almost over, when it was kind of meaningless, whatever the case was. The Dodgers were able to produce 7 runs on 7 hits. That just goes to show you how disciplined this team is at the plate. This just goes to show you how good we are when it comes to threatening to steal a base, right? We have the most stealed bases in the league this season so far. So that's just great to see. It's the little things that have you succeed so well in the postseason, right? You talk about stealing bases. You talk about plate discipline, right? You can't rely on the home run every single time. The Dodgers are very well capable of hitting home runs, right? They hit 2 tonight, which is great. But it's about the hits. It's about base-to-base contact. It's about situational baseball, and that's what the Dodgers do best. So good job for Mookie Betts drawing those walks. Freddie Freeman, amazing game, right? Obviously 2 runs, a hit, an RBI, home run, 2 walks. I mean, the Braves just could not do anything about Freddie Freeman, and It's still weird, to think that he's on our side now, but it's just amazing to have that he's on our side. Trey Turner with a nice hit when it matters most in the fourth inning, bringing in three RBIs, which is just great. Max Muncy, bit of a cold night. I mean, I know he drew a walk, but other than that, bit of a cold night, but I'm okay with that. He played some pretty solid defense. Same thing with Justin Turner. Will Smith, it was his bobblehead night, so, pretty good overall performance from Will Smith. Didn't make too many errors, at least catching-wise, because, when Kershaw pitches, usually the Dodgers like to go with Austin Barnes at the catcher, because their chemistry between each other is just flawless, right? With Will Smith, there's a little bit more of inexperience between those two, but Will Smith did a really good job behind the plate. Obviously he got a hit in, brought himself in from a run. So, hey, it's his bobblehead night. He didn't do anything. He did pretty well. And Cody Ballinger, let me just tell you something, man. Cody Ballinger's back as well. I said it. I've been saying it. Cody Ballinger's someone who, you just can't get rid of. Cody Ballinger's always someone, when you win an MVP, you can't call that a fluke. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You can't call that a fluke because, for someone to sustain a 162 game season and to win MVP, that's easier said than done. Not everyone can do that. Only a few players can do that. So, Cody Ballinger, 2 of 4 from at-bats, 2 RBIs and a home run. Honestly, we all love Cody Ballinger. Let's just be honest here. People are just extremely tough on Cody Ballinger sometimes because we know he has so much talent. He's a Dodger favorite. Honestly. He was our MVP before Mookie Betts came along, Trey Turner came along, before Freddie Freeman came along, those kind of guys. So before all those superstars coming along, Cody Ballinger was our superstar. So it just feels different when Cody Ballinger bounces back and gets a home run, gets some hits, gets some RBIs. It feels really, really nice. And Edwin Rios, same thing. He had a really good game as well, obviously being the DH. So, good for Edwin Rios. Gavin Lux, this was probably, an unorthodox game for him. He was good at, having discipline at the plate, having the pitcher throw more and more pitches to him, making him more exhausted, right? I think the Braves starting pitcher could only last 4 or 5 innings. So, good job by Gavin Lux to just, wear him out. Even though he struck out, or he didn't strike out, but even though he didn't get any hits, he still had solid contact. He still had good plate discipline. So, I'm not even mad at it. But overall, this was a good win. This is just a statement win, in my opinion, because when you verse the team that you've been playing in the postseason for so many years now, right? To have Freddie Freeman hit his first home run, to have him do so much more than just a home run, right? Getting base hits, getting stolen bases, playing good defense, right? I mean, it just kind of goes to show that our team can beat anyone. And obviously it's a given, but, obviously to have it on paper is one thing, but to do it on the field is another thing. And this Dodger team is looking so dangerous. It's just a different feeling this year. I know 8-2. I know the standings don't mean much right now, but something is just different about this team. You can tell by the energy. You can tell by their hunger. You can tell that this team really, really, really wants to win a championship and to create an MLB dynasty. That hasn't been done in a while. So I'm excited. Dodger fans should be excited. So if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like, comment down below what you guys' thoughts were on the Dodgers beating the Braves 7-4, and subscribe for more. Alright guys, peace out, and as always, go Dodgers.